Welcome back to Storytime with Quefish. I have no idea what I'm going to be reading. I'm going to go on Facebook. Sorry, I'm out of breath because I just had to go because I finished this one for Drunk Storytime with Quefish Part 1. This is going to be Drunk Storytime with Quefish Part 2. And I had to get more. It's also plum wine, so I'm sticking with the theme. But I'm gonna go on Facebook. I'm gonna see what suggestions people have, what requests people have for drunk story time, and I'm gonna bust this open. I ain't fancy, mainly because I'm packing to move, and like my kitchen was the first thing to be packed up because it was one of the things that I don't use as often. Like my like I have a dish set, but it's kind of fancy, but because I live in like a really tiny house right now and I have 2 kids, we've just been using paper plates forever. So like all my plates, all my mugs and glasses, kids just use plastic cups because I use like 17 a day. So like all of my kitchen stuff, you know, silverware and all of that all got packed. Like one of the first things because it was the easiest thing to pack. So I don't have any wine glasses. I got a solo cup. Oh God, I love plum wine. It is so good. It's almost too sweet, but it doesn't have like that punch, you know, that it kind of like hits you in the back of the teeth with like grape wine. It doesn't hit you in the nose. Doesn't, and I don't know if that's tannins or because I'm not fancy like that. I don't know all that shit. So I don't know what part of specifically grape wine it is, you know, like hits you in the back of the teeth. It kind of like goes through your nose and has like that bitter tang that kind of just punches you in the face sometimes. But it's nice and sweet and it's smooth, and I am 99% sure I'm going to finish this bottle tonight. So what's the point in busting out a glass in the first place? So I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna go to Facebook. I'm gonna drink some more wine, and I'll be back with some drunk story time. All right, so I've gotten a little bit into the bottle, but mainly I've just been on Facebook looking for suggestions. So I've gotten 2, depending on how long the first one takes to read. I'll try to put the second one in also, but if it's too long, I'll split it up into 2 videos. So first one is explicit. We're venturing into the adult content now. Fluff and Angst, Fluff and Smut, which, I don't know, sounds like a band or something. Fluff and Humor. I Have Loved You from Afar for So Very Long by BRNZ. BRNZ. Summary is: the day after the non-apocalypse wasn't the day either of them expected. Crowley uses a provocative phrase, and Aziraphale mans up enough to call him out on it. Aziraphale turns out to be a caring and sensitive top. Crowley comes apart in a number of ways, and some very delicious sex is had. Notes for non-Brits. Reading. Buggery equals sodomy, but buggering about is slang for mucking around, wasting time aimlessly. However, the writer used it with deliberate intent here, as it could mean both things, potentially. I've heard somewhere years ago, I knew somebody who used to use the phrase fuckery and fuckery foo. Fuckery was sexual, like one night stand, I think, kind of stuff. But fuckery foo was specifically like partying or being a general nuisance, or, you know, fucking around. Okay, so I haven't read this one, so I am reading it blind. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend like I'm being serious now. I have loved you from afar for so very long, by BRNZ. Chapter 1. Your bum or mine? As they sauntered out of the Ritz, Aziraphale brightly asked Crowley, "Plans for the rest of the day?" Crowley, slouching along with his hands shoved into the infernally tight jeans, shrugged in his bonelessly elegant manner and drawled, "Bugger about for a bit?" And when the angel looked at him with that particular quirk of the eyebrow, he shrugged again. "Didn't really make any firm plans for the day after Armageddon, did I?" "Fair point, dear boy, fair point. If you like, I believe I might have a case of that champagne you quite liked tucked away for a special occasion. The 1926 Krug? Krug? Krug sounds Klingon. A pursing of demonic lips. Was a good year, that. Here's a Bentley. Get in, Angel. Get in." Okay, I don't understand why old wine is good. I've never understood that. Oh, it's an 1874 blah blah blah. Damn, that's fucking old. Give me something, fresh. I don't understand it. Maybe I would if I've ever had, like, aged wine, but I've only had vinegar. Several hours later at the bookstore, Crowley was at that I'm bored and fiddly stage of being drunk. That's the stage I'm in. Which could be the only reason why he was balancing backwards on two legs of the wooden chair, defying gravity by leaning sideways as only he could, trying to pick up the champagne bottle to refill his glass. Exasperated, Aziraphale stands, watches him sway back and forth on the teetering chair, successfully swooping up the bottle, refilling his glass, taking a generous swig from the neck on the way, before saying, "Do you want a hand?" Crowley casually waves a hand at him and slurs slightly. "Nah, I'm good," as he now starts trying to balance the chair on one leg. That's not going to end well. Not that, you idiot. With the buggery. The moment stretches until the demon's brain registers what he just heard Aziraphale say. His jaw opens in shock, and with a and a flail of arms and legs, he and the chair lose the battle with gravity and topple over backwards. Same, Crowley. I'd be the same way. Aziraphale waits till he almost hits the ground, blinks, and the chair is righted, although the demon has slid sideways off it to pull leggily on the floor, still staring open-mouthed at the angel, who shrugs in some embarrassment. He is not as drunk as the demon, but beginning to regret that. Rather nervously, he stammers on. "You know, the arrangement. lend a hand when needed, that sort of thing, and trails off nervously, as he is wont to do. Crowley's jaw snaps shut with an audible click, and he swallows for a long moment. Is it one slow swallow or like multiple swallows for a long time? Before saying slowly, Aziraphale, you sure about this? And waves his hand, describing all manner of infinite possibilities. Oh, really? Huffs the angel. If I had any... If I had any gaps in my education, Oscar Wilde soon filled all of those. Got your gaps filled, huh? And his eyes softened in fond memory. This dragged a salacious grin from Crowley. Oh, really? And he slithered over to his favorite sofa, arranged himself in his usual slightly obscene manner, and patted the sofa in invitation. Tell me everything. Collecting a couple more champagne bottles and glasses, he perched in his neat manner and began to speak. Why did he need more glasses? Sometime later, where they are both very drunk, Crowley is stretched out with his head in the angel's lap. Black silk shirt, barely buttoned, bare feet dangling off the edge of the sofa. While they are both celestial beings, yay! Sorry, that's something that I prefer. I like because they're infernal and ethereal, they are still both celestial, and I love that. Their inhabited bodies are human and still crave the touch of others, and over time they have learned to be comfortable with each other in this slightly intimate way. We needed to see that. If Crowley is very good, the angel will toy with his hair or delicately trace the outline of his feet absent-mindedly while he is reading. Oh my god, that would tickle so much. Aziraphale has removed his jacket, bow tie, and waistcoat, loosened his shirt cuffs, and daringly has bare feet as well. He's naked and is idly fiddling with the longer strands of red hair threaded through his fingers. So, tell me, Angel, which do you prefer? Your favorite? Innie, outie, or othery? What is the third option? And Crowley made appropriately obscene gestures with one hand. You need two for those. I guess. Aziraphale giggled a bit. Oh, I quite like vaginas. Truly astonishing orgasms. Go on and on and on. Crowley nods. Clitoris tricky things. And the angel agrees with tongues, though. Oh, tongues. And he wanders off with another memory. Tongues, whimpers Crowley to himself, and loses himself in a haze of lust at the thought of the angel enthusiastically using his tongue. But the angel tunes back into the conversation and announces, I really like a good firm cock. The demon's brain stutters to a halt as all the blood rushes from it and heads directly to his now uncomfortably firm cock, and weakly mutters, firm, to keep the conversation going. Excuse me. The angel smiles mistily down at him and says, no gag reflex, in a disturbingly smug manner. And Crowley swallows any possible response and just nods and waves a hand in a vague, carry-on talking manner. The angel babbles on, and for his own sanity, Crowley tunes out. Because listening to the angel talk about fingering firm, tight, puckered assholes is the most exquisite torture the demon has ever experienced. Dude, Crowley, same. He should know. He's been tortured by both the best and the worst in the business. His head bobs as the thigh underneath it shifts for the third time in as many minutes, and he is mystified at how all this fucking intimate revealing of their sexual history is not affecting the angel the same way as it is him. Maybe he hasn't made an effort? The demon is glad his jeans are a particularly dark black today, as he is sure there is a wet stain visible in the front of them by now. But they are damnably tight. And as he is about to move his hips in vain of relieving the pressure, the thigh he is resting on shifts again. Slowly, through his drunk, lust-addled brain, he realizes the angel is shifting as subtly and as uncomfortably as what he is. And he is now also literally babbling. Crowley makes a decision, sobers himself up a bit, and says very firmly, "Yes." The angelic babbling dies away slowly, and with some confusion he queries, "Yes?" With some effort, Crowley reconnects all the parts of his brainstem needed to move his arms and legs coherently, levers himself up to face the angel, placing one knee balanced precariously on the edge of the sofa between the angels, and leans forward. Oh yes, he recognizes the feeling of a good firm cock against his thigh and presses a bit firmer against it. "Yes, I want you to lend a hand." Random hand wavy gesture, whatever-y thingy with the buggery. Aziraphale's eyes light up. "Oh, dear boy, you're bummer mine." "Your bum or mine," and gives the demon's aching cock a pert squeeze. Crowley falls backwards off the sofa. "Your bum or mine." I feel like I wish I could use that on someone. Chapter 2. You taste like sin. I hope that's a good taste, because it could be bad. I'm sorry that the video keeps bobbing every time I move, but it's on like one of those snake, gooseneck, grabby claw holdy things, because I'm cheap and I got it from Wish. So every time I move, because my desk is a card table, Chapter 2. You taste like sin. They are both too drunk to catch him with a miracle, and he lies there, head slightly ringing with the impact, and groans. With a rustle, the angel slides down beside him. Not behind him yet. Gently cradles the back of the fiery red head in one hand and says, "Oops, want me to kiss it better?" Still stunned by all the shocks to his head, he nods, eyes closed, and manages an affirmative which stops suddenly as his mouth is claimed by an angel who tastes like sunlight, champagne, and caramel. Oh my god, that sounds so good. Firm but gentle questing kisses, one on his lips and then one on each corner, till he moans and opens up to the angel, tangling his fingers in some blonde curls to bring those delicious lips within range and keep them there. His angel has game, too. Doesn't take it too fast or too hard, just the right amount of tongue. Knows the benefit of a pause, a pullback, and then a quick dive in. And then a slow, deep, hungry kiss that leaves them both panting, hard, and wanting. Holy shit, he does have game. They have rolled several times across the floor, Demon on top, and resting on his elbows, looking down at the kiss-flushed angel, and he is very slowly but pointedly grinding his hips down on the panting angel's quite firm cock. He is entranced by the look of utter ravishment on the angel's face. Not even the finest chocolate mousse has been greeted by such a look of wanton abandon. He wants to slowly, reverently kiss every part of the angel that he can reach. He wants to watch him come apart underneath him again and again. He wants to worship on his knees in whatever way that takes him. He wants everything, if he can only make his angel look like this over and over. Floor's hard, mumbles Aziraphale and flicks a finger. Beneath them appears a mattress clad in black silk sheets that look oddly familiar. That's my bed. That's my bed, huffs the demon. And Aziraphale smirks at him. Might as well put it to proper use. Feeling a little out of his depth, Crowley swallows and murmurs, "What did you have in mind?" And laughs a little as the angel rolls them over till he is on top, straddles the black-clad demon, miracles away his white linen shirt, and with an entirely evil smirk, slowly starts unbuttoning the few remaining buttons left, holding the black silk shirt closed, spreading it wide to bare the sculpted torso of the demon to his hungry eyes. That was a really long sentence. He takes a good, long look and whispers, "You are the most beautiful thing I have ever seen," before swooping down to lay a trail of hot, wet kisses across the demon's chest, up the line of his throat before claiming the mouth waiting urgently for him. Each kiss was followed by a word, a benediction. Beautiful, delicious, perfect, mine, so good, love, want, need you. And Crowley has no defense against this gentle rain of words and kisses. It feels like he's being blessed in the most unholiest of ways, and he chokes back a laugh, because the mouth that is praising him also belongs to the hand that has unzipped his jeans and is stroking his cock in the most distracting of manners, and if it carries on much longer, he isn't going to last. Fortunately, the hand ceases its torment, but as the angel lowers himself down the length of Crowley's body and presses a thigh firmly against his erection, he moans, low and deep, and twitches his hips up. Aziraphale hums in approval, caressing his face, and gently kisses him. "Soon, dear boy, soon I will give you everything you need," he murmurs, reaching down to firmly tweak one pert nipple while rolling his thigh up and back again. Crowley stretches his head back, flexing and gasping under the assault, and when hot lips suck firmly at first one nipple and then the other, he loses it completely. A wordless keen as his hands grasp, scrabbling at the sheets for any kind of anchor. Fuck. The gentle rocking pressure of the thighs almost unbearable. And as the angel begins to torment his throat with sucking kisses that will leave bruises in the morning, he gasps, I can't. Aziraphale pulls completely away and Crowley gasps at the relief. and a gentle hand strokes the side of his face. Yes, you are ready for me now, aren't you, darling boy? But the most the demon can reply is, He flinches as his distressingly tight jeans are miracled away, and a warm hand slowly strokes from his ribs, tracing the line of his firmly cut hips, down the hollow of his pelvis, and then down the inside of his thigh, first one side and then the other. Panting, dripping with need, the air musky with the scent of the fluid sheening his abdomen, Crowley gasps out, Aziraphale, please. Oh, I do like a good firm cock, says the angel, dipping his head to place a kiss right on the throbbing vein, and the demon flexes like a bow underneath him with a wordless scream. And yours is delicious, my dear. Now spread your legs like a good boy. When Crowley blearily makes room for the angel, he kneels in front of the demon, splayed out like a pagan sacrifice, reaches out with an already well-lubed hand, and gently but firmly grips the demon's cock and slowly slides his fist up and down. Crowley screams again, and in faint, broken words begins to beg. Fuck. Harder. Harder. Oh, please, harder. Faster. Fuck. And he writhed as only someone with a serpentine spine can. I'm very sorry. I'm not good at this. Yes, my lovely demon, you are doing so well. So well. The hand continues its slow, steady torment, and Crowley is reduced to incoherent moans as he arches up into the strokes, silently begging for more. You asked me what my favorite thing is, and it's this. Aziraphale gestures, encompassing the two of them, but the demon's tightly clenched eyes don't see, and the angel continues. My most very favorite thing is to watch someone come apart underneath me, to watch that look of utter pain transform into rapture, to know I was responsible to bring someone that much pleasure. He pauses and smiles. It's almost transcendent. With that, he dips his head, licks his lips, and slides his hot, wet mouth over the head of the now hoarsely screaming demon's cock, taking the full length inside, pulling back with a good suck on, and again until he has put the other hand on a desperately writhing hip to hold Crowley still. This time he uses his tongue to swirl just the head, taking turns to lick and then suck, while using his fist to pump both harder and faster as requested. Crowley is arched up, strung impossibly tight, head tossing, face scrunched up in what appears to be complete agony, panting raggedly until his breath catches once, twice, and with a bone-shaking groan he comes, hips pumping at first urgently, and then slower and slower as Aziraphale swallows down every delicious drop. When at last Crowley lays there lolling, utterly wrecked, breathless and panting, Aziraphale smiles and says to the still deaf and blind demon, Oh yes, my darling boy. Yes, exactly like that. And he miracles away his trousers, lies down, and gathers the shattered demon in his arms to rock and soothe and stroke back to gradual awareness. Damn, Aziraphale. Get some. Chapter 3. I see you and I love you anyway. Sometime later. Holy fuck, croaks Crowley, and the angel nestled up against him quite smugly says, Yes, it was rather. He pauses for a moment before musing idly. I could never understand why the modern religions so took against women when two men can fornicate equally as well. He kisses the demon idly on the cheek before continuing. You got me to tempt a priest once. It was Milan, 1480 something. Crowley replied. Oh, yes. He was a right den of iniquity. He was the one who taught me the tongue thing. Damn. Faintly in reply. Tongue thing? What I did before to make you come. Crowley shudders a little at the twinge of aftershocks of memory. That, yes, it was... He trailed off, unable to process the words to describe what the angel had just done to him. They are lying spoon diagonally across the vast mattress, his rangy length cupped protectively by the plump, blonde demon who miracled up a couple of pillows and a comforter. His head rests on a pillow that also has an angel arm tucked under it, and the other arm. They are lying spoon diagonally across the vast mattress. I still don't know what a rangy length is. His rangy length cupped protectively by the plump, blonde angel who miracled up a couple of pillows and a comforter. His head rests on a pillow that also has an angel arm tucked under it, and the other arm is wrapped around his ribs, hand resting idly on his chest, and two cute angelic feet are tangled around his ankles. He feels safe, loved, seen in a way he never expected could happen. I guess this is what happens when you love someone you trust implicitly. How? And he annoyingly did the nervous trailing off thing, angel thing, and rallied. How did you know that was what I needed? A clenching of the arm around him and a tender kiss on his shoulder blade. Darling boy, do you think I don't notice? Notice what? How apart you are. How you fell from being an angel and never properly suited hell. How you stand back and observe everything, but you only engage just as much as you need to. How the only times I ever see the real Crowley are when you're with me, when you relax, let go, and just be. Crowley stilled as the angel voiced the things he cared deeply about himself, but didn't think anyone else knew. How he felt so constantly out of place everywhere, except when he was with Aziraphale. Home could be a person? Instead of a place. He stirred to reply, but the angel continued. You control everything. The way you look, your apartment, your plants. You hold many pleasures at arm's length, and when it gets too much, you retreat into sleep. Yet you are always here when I need you, buying me food you don't eat, taking me places you don't want to go. Another tighter clenching of the arm around him and a firmer kiss. Crowley, you care a great deal about many things, and it hurts you to do so. But the one thing you don't seem to care for at all is yourself. So it is my very great pleasure that you will allow me to do that for you instead. The demon took a shuddering breath, having physically come apart so spectacularly. He wasn't mentally prepared for this calm, reasoned, and oh-so-accurate dissection of his psyche at all. But the angel got the last word in again. I love you, Crowley. I have watched and loved you from afar for literal millennia. But I'm not going to do it anymore, understand? Swallowing an unexpected lump in his throat, the demon nodded and after a moment rallied. We never did get to the buggery bit. And Aziraphale chortled a disturbingly evil-sounding laugh, pulled back and rolled the demon over to face him. Oh, we will, darling boy. We will. I love it! That was fun. I liked it. So, holy cow, 35 minutes. I'm sorry. It's very long. Well, it's not a long story. It's 3 chapters, and it is under 3,000 words. Holy cow, am I just a slow reader? I'm very sorry. I liked it. It was fun. It was fun and very sexy. I have a difficult time talking about, but it was fun. I liked it a lot. So I'm going to end this one here. Thank you very much for joining me for Drunk Storytime with Quefish, and there will be another one shortly.